All right, perfect. We are on. Let me put on speaker view so everyone can see me and then Daren. I want to welcome Daren Gates to this call. Fantastic to have you on board, Daren, and it's great. He is great at supporting his team, so we are lucky to have him with us. Daren has always been there for us in our team. He's a master at strategy around building the business, and he is a man of high integrity, I tell you. He's always there when he says he's going to be. So Daren, just to kick this off, can you tell us about yourself a little bit, just a minute? What made you see the potential in doTerra? What, about 6 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was about 6 years ago. And really, the thing you have to realize for a lot of people that you're talking to is it has to do with timing. So the timing may not be right for some of the people you're talking to, but if you become successful in doTerra and you stick with it, there are people that will definitely sign up later. So for me, I luckily people were persistent enough to keep following up with me, but I think also, like I said, the timing was right in my life where finally I was open, but I also was finally willing to try some samples because for 3.5 years I've been people tried to introduce me to doTerra for about 3 years before I finally joined up, and during that time I never would try samples and didn't care to try the products. Essential oils were foreign to me. So it was a combination of being willing to try the products and then having some things happen in my life timing-wise where I was a little bit more open to learning about doTerra and the essential oils. That's probably what helped me come on board.
And I see that with other people too. I mean, people come back to you after a year, 2 years even. Now it's the right timing for them. So it's just important not to burn the bridges when you're working with them, right?
Well, and you guys, everyone on this call knows who Kenny Anderson is, I'm sure. And Kenny Anderson was somebody that didn't want to sign up in doTerra when I first talked to him about it. He didn't sign up for about 1.5 years or 2 later. And I finally looked for an opportunity to give him some deep blue rub. He'd had an operation on his knee, and he was very reluctant. I had to be very persistent for several weeks before he'd even try the deep blue. And when he finally did, he became more open to at least trying the products, introducing to them the products to his wife, Rebecca, and then he was willing to come in and meet some people at doTerra, and that's kind of what it took. So imagine if I would have got into doTerra and got discouraged and quit before signing up Kenny. That could have been really disastrous for me. I would not know any of you or be on this call. My life would be a lot different. So I'm sure glad I decided to persevere, you know.
I agree. We're glad that we joined.
Let me mention one more thing. I recruited Kenny because I just lost a silver leader too. So
okay, let me mute you. A moment.
Mute
Nils
bildet.
Rønne, kan du gå på mute, er du snill?
Ja, skal vi se hvordan vi gjør det da. Audio, hvordan trykker jeg det? Mobile. Mute.
All right. Okay, Daren, I think we're back.
okay. Are you still? Okay, perfect. I think there's still some background noise.
There is, and I can't see who that is because I muted everyone but Marianne, and I don't think she is very noisy.
Okay. Anyway, so any other questions you have? I mean, I know I've got a list of things I'm going to cover, but.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, we all know now that the potential of doTerra is just enormous, especially with the latest prognosis that they gave out at the leadership meeting. doTerra is going to reach $10 billion in about 5 years, which is just huge. And a lot of people are doing well in doTerra, and people in doTerra has great success rate, especially compared to a lot of other similar companies. But I'm thinking, I think one of the most prevalent challenges people have in any company is not seeing the potential in themselves. They don't believe in themselves and they don't dare to dream, right? So what are the things that you think that we can do to help people understand their own potential, that they can accomplish anything that they put their mind to?
Well, we had a similar discussion, John Eric, when you and Lynn were in my house before you signed up in doTerra. So when you make a decision to join doTerra, I mean, you've got to realize a couple of things. Okay, it's going to take a while for you to achieve what you want to achieve. Nothing great in life happens overnight. So a lot of people are really into instant gratification. They want to have things right away. So if you can come in realizing, okay, this is going to take a few years for me to be successful, and not only is it going to take a few years, but I have to consistently contact new people, have classes, one-on-one presentations, give samples. I've got to do that on a consistent basis. So you're not just hanging around to put in time, but you have to be doing those daily activities that lead to success. And if you do those things, you will have success, because we have a quality product that if we get in front of people, the product does a lot of the selling for us. We really don't have to do too much, but you have to be willing to contact people and do that effort of sharing the oils.
So what kind of people do you see that can have that potential, or that can actually realize that? Most people don't see it in themselves, I feel.
Well, the thing that I've seen, and if you've been to a convention, now I don't know if many of you have had the opportunity to come to a convention yet in Salt Lake City, but when they have the convention in Salt Lake City, they have recognition, public recognition, where all the silvers, golds, and platinums walk across the stage. And I'm sitting in a building that seats about 20,000 people, and I literally see not hundreds, but a couple thousand people walk across that stage. And when you see them on the big screen, there's every color, shape, size, language, I mean, everything you could possibly imagine. So I can promise you this, it doesn't take good looks, because look at me. I'm successful, and I'm bald, and I probably could be in a little bit better shape. So it doesn't matter what you look like, it just matters how consistent and persistent you are. So I find that those people that share are people that realize we've got something that's going to benefit people. And so they consistently share the product. So if you ask me who I think can be successful in doTerra, I think anyone can be successful in doTerra. And but I'll tell you what, there's some network marketing companies I don't feel that way, because when you have a terrible compensation plan and you've got terrible products, it's almost like you have to be very charismatic, and you have to be some superstar to be able to succeed in some of these network marketing companies out there. That's not the case with doTerra. So for those of you, whether you've been with another company before or this is your first time in doTerra, you're in the right spot. This is a great place to be. But once again, every time I find somebody that's not having success, I ask them, I say, well, how many samples did you give out last week? How many classes have you had lately? How many one-on-one presentations? Have you talked to anybody? And inevitably, they've done nothing. Not even some stuff, they just stop doing stuff. And then they think it doesn't work when they're really not doing anything. I talked to 2 brand new people, completely cold contact people that I'd never talked to before. I talked to them yesterday morning, and by the time the mail was picked up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I had samples put together, and they were in the packages, and I'd mailed 2 samples. So I keep right over here. Let me show you. I keep my envelopes right here. Okay, these are my sample envelopes, and then I've got right here on my desk, I've got my sample case. Okay, right here next to my desk is all the oils that I put together every single day. And so yesterday I sent out 2 packages. Yesterday I had a presentation. I've got a presentation this Saturday. I've already got 4 presentations set up for next week. So between now and next Thursday, I've got 6 presentations on my schedule that I'm going to be doing. And so sometimes people say, you know, well, how's he successful? He's just lucky. No, I actually work. And so now one of the questions is, what do I prefer, classes or one-on-one? And it seems like when I help my team, I do a lot of classes. When I personally recruit, I do a lot of one-on-one presentations. And so for me to be successful doing one-on-one presentations, my goal is to try to have at least 3 one-on-one presentations per week. And I recommend either doing 1 class a week or at least 2 or 3 one-on-one presentations to keep things rolling. And then if you have 3 one-on-one presentations a week and then you have 12 a month, then you can probably sign up 4 or 5 people, you know. If you have classes, you can do the same thing. So just realize consistent activity. And the 2 people that I sent packages to, I've got their, one of them was Lisa, who owns a yoga studio. And then another one was Dr. Zeigmont, who is a chiropractor. Those are the 2 I sent it to yesterday.
Let me see if I can mute. Everything looks muted here, Daren. Can you guys go on mute if you're not? Because I can hear someone. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, that one.
There's still some background noise. I don't know what it is.
That one's not muted. That one.
I know. I'm clicking this many times and nothing happens. All right. Someone's chatting here, so let's see.
Do you know who that is? Rosalina's iPad.
Let's see. I think we'll just continue, Daren.
Yeah, who's that peeking around the corner? Do you know that person?
Right there?
Yeah, the bottom.
On the bottom? Yeah, that was Nils Rune. He shared with 200 to 300 people last 6 months. What's the best way to follow up, he says.
Okay, what was your question?
He shared with 200 to 300 people last 6 months. And he's asking what's the best way to share, to follow up.
Well, you have to keep meticulous notes. So, for example, just the 2 people that I talked to yesterday. So this is the information I wrote. I go, she's sick, she wants On Guard, is traveling late February to mid-March, has used Young Living for years, loves essential oils, may not spread to clients, but will definitely use it for personal use. I sent On Guard, lavender, lemon, orange, and grapefruit, and then I sent the package. And I put the date that I sent it out at 2/13. So the other one, Lisa, works for Blue Soul Yoga. She wants me to send samples for her teachers to use, her yoga teachers. Hasn't used essential oils in the past, but seems really open. Talked about having a yoga fair or me coming and doing a class. Sent A to Z guide electronically. We'll follow up. Sent package. Also emailed an A to Z guide. So those are the 2 people that I talked to yesterday. So why is it so easy for me to follow up? Because I know exactly what I did. I know exactly what I sent, and I know exactly when I sent it. So what I do is I have this little notebook, okay? And when I talk to the person, I highlight their name in yellow. When I send them a package, I put a square around their name. And so you have to have some type of a system for following up. Because if we don't know what we said, when we said it, what ailments they had, what we sent to them, I mean, imagine how unprofessional it is calling somebody and not remembering the samples that you sent them. Or calling them way too late. And then what I did is I also put down when I plan to follow up. And then this is my notebook that I keep track of everything. And then this is my planner that has the people I need to call every day. So what I'll do, once I write that down, then I go to my other planner and then I write down when I'm supposed to call them. So, and you have to realize sometimes you call them and they don't answer. So probably the biggest challenge, John Eric, that people have is they call people when they say they're going to call them, but then what happens when they don't answer? Well, when they don't answer, then what you need to do is send them a text or something saying, hey, listen, I called you, you weren't available. When's the time we can connect? And then so you've got to send a text. Maybe you do a follow-up call within the next 24 to 48 hours, and then maybe another follow-up call maybe 72 hours after that. So you have to have some type of a mechanism to follow up with them. So I really find that it kind of goes back to contacting. You just have to do it. But sometimes if you're contacting that many people, it's difficult to keep track of who you're doing what to. What you've said, what you've done. Trust me, I talk to enough people that if I don't take notes, I will not remember what I talked about. But when you talk to people that have, they've tried On Guard. She was in an airport and somebody gave her some On Guard. And so I've got to write that thing down. That's a very, very important thing to know. If someone's used essential oils from another company, that's something I need to know. So keeping track of things, John Eric, is the key to being able to follow up successfully. And then once again, have a way to track it through your notebook or your planner or your electronic device so you can make sure you follow up the right way.
I agree, Daren. That's good, good information right there. And back to basics is actually the most important thing we can know and remember. Talk to people, share with people, follow up with people. That consistency is going to get you moving forward. And so what have you seen the last 6 years in doTerra that helps most people get committed? Because one thing is they got to actually do it. Another thing is they got to actually want to do it. So there's a gap sometimes with the commitment.
Well, I think the easiest way to get committed is you've got to get some other people involved besides yourself. So if you have people on your team that haven't enrolled anybody yet, then there's a chance you could lose those individuals. So help people to get their first enrollment. Try to help them with their first class, help them with sharing and giving samples, whatever it is. Because once you get somebody involved, they've signed up their sister or their friend or their mother, or they've signed up a neighbor, or they signed up somebody they went to church with or something like that. People become more committed when they get somebody involved. So I think your first challenge is to stay with your people, stay with your new people that are wanting to do the business until they start signing, stay with them and help them get some people signed up. Okay. That's probably the biggest thing is we leave people too soon and then the things don't happen. So I have a person that I signed up who lives in Macau, which is an island off just about an hour from Hong Kong. And he had some contacts here in Utah, and I wanted to make sure he would introduce those contacts to me because I wanted to help sign somebody up. So last week, I met with one of his nieces who is a nurse practitioner, and she's really, really sharp, and she loves the oils. And so I took her out to lunch last week and was able to get her signed up. So he's in a different country, and I'm meeting with some of his people here, and I actually signed her up. And that was the first person that he signed up. And so I was able to tell him, hey, we got her enrolled. We got her signed up. I mean, he didn't even really know what had happened. It just kind of happened. But that's the thing is I was trying to help him get something. Now that he has somebody signed up and it's a family member, he's really, really committed. And so now we're working on getting some people signed up over in Asia for him as well. So stick with people and help them get some activity going is probably one of the key things.
Perfect. I agree with that, Daren. And signing people up, creating momentum, and momentum creates excitement, and excitement gets you moving forward. So that's right on the spot right there. One more question, sometimes oils are very foreign to people. They don't really know what essential oils are. And I meet a lot of those people, and you do too, I'm sure. And because of that, a lot of times people are hesitant because maybe alternative medicine has a bad reputation or they've had bad experiences before. So how do you go about introducing essential oils to people when people sometimes are just skeptical, like I was?
Okay, well, the first thing you got to realize is 100% no questions asked. They don't want to try your oils. Okay, you got to understand. They don't know what they are. essential oils seem weird. And so you've got to be persistent because they don't want to do it. Now, they don't want to do it not because it's not going to be good for them, because they have no experience doing it. So Kenny's the first example, okay? Kenny, I dropped this off. He says, Daren, I don't want to do network marketing. And I said, Kenny, you're not going to do network marketing. You don't have to have any classes. You don't have to talk to your neighbors. You don't have to do any of that stuff. So just forget about all that stuff. What I want you to do is try this deep blue, and I want you to put it on your knee and see if it works for you. That's it. Case closed. I mean, that's what I said to him. And he says, okay, I'll try it. A week later, I come back. I say, what do you think about the deep blue rub? He says, Daren, I'm just not into this natural stuff. These essential oils are kind of weird. I just don't really like doing this stuff. And I said, you didn't even try it, did you? And he said, no, I didn't try it. And I said, well, you take the cap off the bottle and just try the deep blue rub. I mean, stop playing this game. Just try it. Okay, so I left him again. I come back about a half a week later or whenever it was. Kenny, did you try the deep blue? And finally he said, Daren, you know, I hate to admit it, but I actually tried it and it did take my pain away. And so you've got to understand, he did not want to try that product. But you have to understand, I knew the product would help him. So you have to be persistent because you know something that they don't know. It's just like, you know, here in the United States, we've had a lot of rains and there's been a lot of flooding. It's just like, you know, going to someone's house, the dam's about to break and the water's going to come down and you're trying to get them to come out of their house and they think they're fine. You've got to kind of urge them to do it. Say, no, the dam's going to break. You've got to get out. Now, it's not that same urgency, but the bottom line is you have to realize they don't want to try it. They know nothing about it. And so you have to be persistent until they try it. Once they've tried it, if they're not interested, then you move on to somebody else. But don't stop if they haven't tried it. And then once again, if they won't try it, then just tell people, okay, no problem. You don't have to try it now, but in a few more months, I'll probably try you again. So it's just one of those things where you have to understand they don't want to try it. It's your job to try to convince them to try it. And you're doing something good for them, so don't be embarrassed because you're being persistent. Once again, going back to Kenny, if I would just, you know, let him off the hook, then he would not be in doTerra. And you got to understand, it's because I had that relationship with Kenny. We've been friends for about 20 years, that I didn't take no for an answer. And so a lot of, especially your friends and family and people that you know, if it's somebody you don't know, then you don't have anything to lose anyway. So you just need to say, listen, I know you like these other essential oils, or I know you like this, or, you know, and that's why I have a lot of success by giving free samples. So I'll tell people, you know, I always give out free things because it's easy to give out free things, you know, but I just want you to realize it takes a little bit of effort because they don't want to do it. I hope I've made my point clear. They don't want to try it. They don't know what it is. So you have to be persistent. And that's where people they're expecting people to just, you know, want to take it. And then you've got to follow up. And, you know, I don't follow up saying, you know, how'd you like the deep blue? I usually say, hey, listen, have you had a chance to try that deep blue yet? Because I don't want to embarrass anybody if they haven't tried it. So I don't say, how did you like it? Because I don't really know if they've tried it. So I'll say, hey, have you had a chance to use that deep blue yet? And they'll like, no, Daren, I haven't had a chance. I go, listen, you really need to have a chance. In fact, why don't I come by and I'll show you how to put it on, you know, whatever. And then you can kind of help them figure it out. And he said, no, I think I can do it. Okay, I'm going to follow up with you because your knee hurts and this is going to help you. So realize I'm following up because, you know, I know that you'll enjoy the experience. And then just kind of take it from there, you know.
Good. I like that. So, but what do you say is that the biggest challenge that you've had when you share information or when you share oils with people, is that they're skeptical? Is that the biggest challenge? Or is it another challenge that you've had that you think has been the biggest one that most people are probably going to experience? And then how did you overcome it?
Well, I think you're going to have, the people that don't understand essential oils and don't want to try it. I think you're going to have people that have a problem with network marketing because they may know that it's a network marketing company and they don't like it. So if there's hesitancy, kind of like Kenny was hesitant, and because he thought by taking Deep Blue he had to do doTerra as a business. So you've got to understand people are skeptical, and so you can just take that off the table and say, hey, listen, you guys, you don't have to do the business side. You don't have to have classes. You don't have to buy products every month. You don't have to do any of that stuff. I just want you to try this product to see how it works for you. Because once they try it and if they like it, then they still may be willing to order every month and join the business and do the things that they didn't want to do. But they're not going to do it if they can't try the product. So if someone's not willing to try the product, you need to find out why. And it's all like, I just don't want to try your product. I've never liked those network marketing companies. Then you just tell them, listen, you don't have to do the network marketing side. You don't have to buy any products every month. You don't have to hold classes. You don't have to talk to your friends. You don't have to go to any meetings. You don't have to do anything. What I want is you have a headache, you get migraines. I want you to put this little oil, behind your temples, on your forehead, and the back of your neck next time you get a migraine. And we're going to help you get rid of your migraine, headache, quick, safe, fast, and you're going to have a great experience. And then it's like, okay, I guess I'll try it for my migraine. And then they're focused on the product. Then once they like the product, then they'll be open to look at other things. So just realize, find out who you're dealing with. And if someone's not willing to do something, you need to ask the right questions to find out why. And then if they're concerned about something that you can remove off the table and take away, then you're going to be fine, And so it's kind of eliminating the objections and finding out what the problem is.
Good. Thank you. 2 more questions if we have time for it. 6 minutes left max. And so if you've had, 6 years in doTerra, and if you can kind of go back and do things a little bit differently, or let's say a different way, what have you done in doTerra that's been the most successful for you?
I fall into the same trap that I'm warning you guys about. I mean, I go through periods of time when I'm really good at contacting people and giving presentations, and then all of a sudden I won't work for a while. And so every time I work in doTerra, I always have success. Every time I give samples, I always find people to enroll. So I think that one thing I learned is you need to maintain a certain maintenance level of consistency. But you have to realize if you're trying if you're not making as much money in doTerra as you want, and you really need to make money quick, or you want to get to a rank, let's say you want to get to Premier or Silver or something like that, or higher, and it's been taking a long time for you to get there, what I'd recommend doing is doing, a 1 to 3 month blitz where I'm going to, for the next 30 to 60 days, or whatever, however long you want to do it, I'm going to contact more people and do more activity than I've ever done. It's kind of like you have a little bit of a diamond club where you just go crazy for like a month or two. So what I'd recommend doing is having, if you want to get things kicked off again, have an intense period from 1 to 3 months where you go crazy and you contact 5 people a day, and you try to have as many presentations and as many one-on-one classes you had for a short period of time. And then once you're done with that, then you come back to, 1 or 2 contacts a day or whatever your normal thing is. But, I can promise you, if you have a really big blitz, you'll create a lot of activity. Every time I've had a really focused period of time from 30 to 60 days where I went crazy contacting people is when I found a new key leader in my organization. Somebody that helped take me to the next rank or help make me more money, and so that's an exciting place to be. And I look back, and I remember when I, first hit diamond, and I'm still a diamond right now, but when I first hit diamond, I was maybe making, $6,000 to $8,000 US every month. And, now I'm a diamond making maybe 20 to 30,000 US every month. So I've just seen that check get bigger and bigger. And then, and it has to do with me focusing and finding key people. And then once again, don't get discouraged. Like I said, I lost a silver leader. I was the rank of diamond, and then I lost my leader and I wasn't diamond anymore. And so I went out and found a new leader to hit diamond again. And that new leader I found was Kenny. And Kenny came on board, and Kenny became a silver really quickly. And all of a sudden I was a diamond again. And so I'm just saying, if someone's a diamond, or imagine if you were a gold or a platinum or a silver, and then all of a sudden you lost one of your leaders, and now your check gets cut in half. I mean, my check went from $8,000 a month back down to $4,000 a month because I lost my leader. That would discourage a lot of people, but I was committed to keep moving forward. So I know we're about out of time. Is there one more question you have?
Yeah, let's have just 1 minute. And what is your best tip on getting people on loyalty rewards program?
Well, the loyalty rewards program, the best thing is you get them when they're excited. So make sure when you sign people up, you have a plan for them when they sign up, either a wellness training, a getting started training, a membership overview, something within the first 7 days after they get their kit. So, and then you walk through and it tells you exactly what to say, and you actually have something to use. So you don't have to make up the stuff yourself, but that will help you to help follow that and you'll be able to get them on loyalty rewards.
Perfect, Daren. Thank you so much. I don't think we have time for any more. It's really valuable information. I know you're on the ball, and we really want to emulate your energy and your activity level. If everyone does that, I think it'll be one fun 2017, I'm telling you.
Well, and you just have to believe. Like I said, you just have to believe that, I can do it too. I can be, John Eric's a perfect example. John Eric is about as close to diamond as you can get. It's going to happen for him really quickly. And you just have to hang in there. And I know you've had, for those of you from Norway, and I know there's been different challenges. And I've had a lot of challenges too. There's challenges that come up, but we will get these things resolved. And those that stick around and are patient are going to be rewarded.
I agree with you, Daren. All right, we got to end this call. Thank you so much for joining us, Daren, and thank you everyone else for being part of this. Look forward to the next one, and have a great day, Daren.
Thanks, everyone. It's good to see you. Good luck with everything. Let me know how I can help. Bye-bye.
Bye.